And welcome to GamesMaster, where even under the sea, we take great pride in our own physical fitness. And as you can see, my two mermaids, Teresa and Leanne, are physically very fit indeed. Okay, ladies, what's the most energetic thing you've ever done?
I played ping pong once, 3 times in a row.
I regularly mud wrestle.
We're stretching our groins a little bit more than usual today because one event dominates this show, and we like to call it, We're Athletic, We Like Lycra.
For today's event, we're going out on the track with athlete kings on the Sega Saturn. My 2 celebrity contestants will be competing over 4 separate events. The 100 meters, the long jump, the 110-meter hurdles, and finally, the javelin. Points will be awarded for each competitor's performance in accordance with athletic practice. And the winner will be decided by the overall points accumulated rather than by individual events. Button bashing plays an important role in the game, and I'll be watching out for the contestant with the most feverish fingers.
Okay, with us today we have 2 blokes who are more familiar with Lycra than Larry Lycra and the Lycra family who make the stuff. Please welcome John Regis and Tony Jarrett. Now, of course, I should have said John Regis, MBE. Technically, you have that gong. What was it like when you got it? Where did you have to go?
Buckingham Palace. You know, for me, it was probably the proudest day that I've ever had so far. You know, when I was younger, I always wished that I could ever, you know, go and see the Queen and receive one of those medals because you always thought it was somebody else who'd get it. But when my name came up in the list, you know, I was really happy. My parents came down. It was a tremendous day out, and you know, really chuffed.
Was there a party afterwards?
There was in my house.
All right. But you didn't have a party with the Queen?
No.
Because I want to know that. I mean, like, you know, if she has a bit to drink, then she'll bend over and start lighting her farts. Like that. But I guess we won't know that. I bet Fergie does. I bet she'd be the first one to get lighting the bottle first. So I probably won't get an MB. I think that's no chance of that one.
I don't think so.
Now, Tony, well, I'll ask you a much classier question than that. I want to know what you look for in a short. Now, we see you guys running very graphically all the time. And what's the most important quality in a short?
Well, the most important quality in the shorts is comfort and support. So, you know, stop things wiggling about and shaking about.
Wiggling about? Wiggling sounds like it's small. It's not very small. Yeah, I mean, I probably wiggle. I imagine I most definitely wiggle.
Or rock about it.
That's more like it. And finally, it's a tradition here on GamesMaster. My mother, the biggest athletics fan in the world, whenever we have athletes on, but ask, could you possibly just give her a little wave to that camera? Say hi, Paula, and a little wave there.
Hi, Paula.
Hi, Paula.
That is fantastic. Thank you very much. I would also like to, on a personal note, say, Mother, once again you've done it. You've moved house without telling me the address. You keep doing this. I'm feeling a little bit insecure now, so please get in touch. And while we wait for the results of that heartfelt plea, the guys are going to get themselves in a game stand position. I'll go up to the commentary box. And that trackside being my very own Jim Rosenthal. We have got Rik Henderson. Rik, you're a very athletic man yourself, aren't you?
About as athletic as Wigan, I reckon. But I am actually practising at the old snooker and darts, so I think the exertion will be there somewhere.
Okay, but not practising your jokes.
No, obviously not.
Okay, Rik, first about 100 metres here. What is the basic tips for the guys?
Well, the basic tips, this is dead simple. You just have to hit those buttons as fast as you can, but we're looking at around a 10-second run here. Anything over 10 seconds and they're losing valuable points.
Okay then, all right, thank you very much, Rik. Best of luck, John. Best of luck, Tony. Okay. Off you go. Okay, character selection. Now, John is playing as Jeff Janssens, the British guy. Tony has opted for Carl Vane, who is grinning with the arrogance we've come to associate with the Germans.
Course number 1.
Okay, so we can see John on the right-hand side, considerably larger of frame than Tony on the left there, Rik.
Oh, no, tall running man.
Oh, no. Okay, here we go.
Get set.
And they're off, and it's John Regis in the inside lane, making the early running there. It's Tony's got a lot to do at this point, Rik.
Tony's got a lot to do, but the other guy is so huge that he can possibly get past him.
He's a novice coming through. John comes through. John takes in 9.95 seconds to Tony's 10.1. A new world record. 20 points. So at the end of the 100 metres, John Regis scores 1,108 points. Tony Jarrett, 1,071. It's not on who goes first and second at this stage. It's all on the points at the end of the game. OK, now, while we get our breath back for that and prepare for the long jump, we'll go to today's news. The latest instalment of the world's second most successful fighting game, Virtua Fighter 3, is in arcades now. It's the first game to utilise Sega's Model 3 technology with the most realistic graphics of any game ever. New features include more complex undulating backgrounds for tactical play, 2 new characters, Fat Boy wrestler Takarasha, and the painfully named Oi! And there's also a host of new moves for all the existing characters. We'll be having an event later in the series on this game which will blow your thingies off. If you woke up this morning and thought, how did they make those special effects in Independence Day? Then whoopee you! There's a CD-ROM all about it, inside Independence Day. The disc features over an hour of footage, allows you to gander at the £50,000 model of the White House they blew up, see the early drawings of the alien ships, drawn by me, even put dull questions to the stars.
Hello.
And if all this isn't enough for Independence Day junkies, there's even a preview of the Independence Day game in development, which will probably be cack. Americans, what will they think of next? Playing games with our bodies, that's what. It's all thanks to a new virtual reality attraction called Mandala. A video game camera in the system tracks your movements, allowing you to interact with the rubbish in-game graphics. The 30 Mandala games include basketball, a crossy shooty footy game, a bizarre emu volleyball match, and a racing game you control by moving your head. Mums can do keep fit, and even grannies can do mad things with woodland creatures. Americans, your snooker loopy nuts are we. Okay, we have completed one event of our special I'm Athletic, I Like Lycra GamesMaster Challenge with John Regis and Tony Jarrett. John Regis 37 points ahead. We're just about to go into the long jump. Rik Henderson, what's the best tips for the guys here?
Well, Tony's got a good advantage here. His character is a jumper, don't forget. But the best tactic is basically press that button when you're in midair and it will extend your legs, giving you better reach.
Okay, and what angle should they be looking for of jump?
Well, they should be looking at up to 25, but I kind of find myself 23 is the optimum angle.
Okay, then you've always been a bit of a dissenter, though, haven't you, Rik? Okay, then it's John to jump first. Best of luck, John. Take your first jump. Okay, each player gets 3 attempts. We just take the best of the 3, and that's the score. That will count. John now getting a lot of speed on this runway. This is crucial. He's got to convert it, though. Take off is near to the red line. That's not bad. The angle a bit too low there, Rik. 6.42.
Well, he's just putting an initial jump on the board, trying not to foul it, because if he treads on the little red line, he's a foul.
That's true, and 6.42, it's his banker.
It is a banker. It's not a great jump. Not a great jump, though.
Okay, off goes Tony then to set the pace with his first jump. It's the gentle, loping, bizarre-looking stride of Carl Vane. And again, another good approach. This is fast. Again, right behind the line. The angle a bit better, 5.97. Rik, very far behind the line there.
Very, very far behind the line. He can't possibly get over the 6.42 that John did.
Okay, John's second attempt. We want to see then a little close at the board this time, Rik.
A little closer to the board, but again, he must not foul. He must not foul. We want to see a 23 angle. We want to see that, and we want to see them extend their legs at the end.
That's a brilliant.
That's far better.
7.31, as close to the board as he could have been, I reckon, there. All he could have done there, Rik, a bit more speed, maybe.
A bit more speed. He should really be bashing those buttons, and the angle was, yeah, it was a little bit low.
Okay, here comes Tony for his second one. 7.31 is what he has to beat. Tony takes his run up, desperately trying to get that speed up. He's got to go close to the board, he knows. Oh, no, that was a little tap there, actually. Didn't hold it down enough. 4.88. He won't be happy with that, Rik.
He can't be happy with that. That is not going to win him any medals, not in this game.
Okay. But we only take the best attempts, so Tony's still got one more. Now John can really go for this now, Rik.
He can really go for this, and we've got the fantastic buttock shot. He's going to make a great imprint when he lands. Oh, but he's fouled it.
Oh, but it wasn't as long as this other one anyway. 7.28. So John Regis' longest one, 7.31. There's the replay. Rik clearly makes a big mark in the plasticine.
Yeah, but he could have made more out of that plasticine. He took so much of it.
Okay, here is Tony Jarrett's third and final jump. Okay, a hush descends upon the crowd. Calvin again with the rear shot here.
He's either going to do it or he's going to trip on his face.
That speed. It's near the mark.
That's good!
Yes! 4.3 centimetres! Tony Jarrett takes the second event. But more importantly, how's it going to convert into points? Let's wait and see. Okay, the point score 8-8-8 for John Regis, 8-9-3 for Tony Jarrett. He pulls it back by 5, which means that John is still ahead, but only by 32 points now. At this point, I'm going to go down and check the guys are feeling all right. Okay, guys, 2 events gone. John, 1,996 points. Tony, 1,964. Now, John, Tony's eating into your lead there. Now you're still about 32 points ahead. The next event is the 110 metres hurdles.
Well,
have you ever done that in real life?
Not a hope in hell. For me, it'd be like trying to climb a house, so I leave that event completely alone. But in this particular event here...
This is your favourite,
This is my favourite.
Okay, it's nicely poised then. John Regis, 32 points ahead of Tony Jarrett. We're going to compare the size of our various Lycra pouches. You're not allowed to see that. You have to watch these fine adverts instead during this commercial break. Previously on GamesMaster. John Regis and Tony Jarrett took a day off of winter training and they came in to compete in I'm Athletic, I Love Lycra. We have had 2 events so far, the 100 metres, which John Regis won. Then we moved on to the long jump, which Tony won with a spectacular final jump, leaving the score after 2 events. John Regis, 1,996. Tony Jarrett, 1,964. For the mathematicians out there, that's a difference of 32 points. Okay, Rick, we're on to the 110 metres hurdles. As far as buttons and coordination go, what do the guys have to do here?
Well, they just have to hit those run buttons as fast as possible, but with their third finger on the C button, they have to hit it. But the shallower they hit it, well, basically to jump over the hurdles, but the quicker they hit it, the less time they depress that button, the shallower they'll go over the hurdles and therefore gain more speed.
Okay, would they have to use the third finger, or could they maybe be sensible and use another hand?
They could do that, but joypads are very wee. Very wee.
Okay then, while Rick retains just about his sanity, then we will go to start the 110 metre hurdles. Best of luck, guys. Take your marks. Okay, off they go. John, furthest away from us on the inside. Tony, closest to us in the lovely blonde hair. And they're off, and they jumped a little bit early. A bit of a crash up the first 2 hurdles, got crashing. And John's cleared 1. John's cleared 2, 3, 4. John Regis streaking ahead there. Tony's rhythm has gone all over the place. John Regis takes it 30.31. Tony Jarrett limps home at 16.29. What is that? Look at John strutting his stuff. He's got a new world record. Oh dear, now how's that going to translate into points? After the 3rd event, John Regis still in the lead, but he's lengthened it. 3,062 to Tony Jarrett's rather wiggly 2,664. While we're trying to attach some kind of robotic limbs to Tony's athlete, we'll find out what's happening in today's feature. These exclusive shots of me redecorating my house are actually the latest multi-million-pound interactive movie extravaganza, trying to prove that actors in video games can have satisfying intercourse. The Darkening is a follow-up to the successful PC hit Privateer. It's a space adventure that's been £4 million in the making. The player controls the main character, Lev Aris, Clive Owen of TV's Chance of fame, who finds himself in a "my spaceship has crashed, I'm on an alien planet, I've lost my memory" type situation. So he decides to wander around looking cool with a gun until a massive monster appears. See? Told you. Each time the player enters a new scene, they're presented with a host of choices of what to do. Faced with the responsibility of rediscovering his identity and saving the world, our hero slips off to the nearest boozer to meet some of the mutated locals.
My role in the piece is a barman, but he's a barman in the busiest bar in space, really. It's a pretty rough old tumbly bar in which almost everybody drops into at one stage or another. So he knows everything that's going on, basically. He's a great fixer.
You mentioned some juicy deals.
Not juicy. It's juicy. Terrific. Suppliers, wholesalers, shoppers. You might say that I run a very moist establishment.
There's quite a lot of computer technology to be added afterwards, but the big difference is at the end of each scene, you often have to shoot a variety of choices. Depending how good the player is at the game, you get to the end of a scene and then a deal is done and you go one way or it's not done.
But it's when our hero comes into contact with the fairer sex that the problems really begin. A lot like in real life, kids, I can tell you.
The dark is no place to be alone in.
What do you suggest?
I could use a wingman. Interested?
Oh, that's a tough question.
In anything you have in mind, yes.
Go on, Clive, mate, do your duty.
I don't know. I think I might just sit this one out.
Oh! Once you've failed to pull through your utter stupidity, there's nothing left but to get out and prove your fighting skills in the 3D space combat sections. It's only by doing well here and in trading wisely that you can progress through the game. But the real stars are the special effects. The producers have gone sci-fi action doolally bonkers, creating everything from spaceships crashing to fat guys in stupid helmets. All this could just possibly mean that The Darkening, when it's released next month, isn't pish at all.
Okay, we're approaching the final event here. We've had John, Regis and Tony Jarrett here since the start of the show. John has played extremely well. Tony has played. And there's about as much tension as a very old soft duvet. You know. The next event is the javelin. Now, Rik, what's the tips for the guys on this one?
Well, again, it's angle-based. Welcome to Mathematics Master with Tom and Rik. It's angle-based, 45 degrees, the game says, but I find it better to do 42, 43 again. But also, they just have to get that run up, and to be honest, John's character could use that javelin as a toothpick. That's got to go far.
Okay, so the game says 45 degrees. Rik would prefer a rather slightly droopier 42. It is John to throw first. So off he goes. Now, this cat is very strong at the throws.
Yeah, this is John's specialist event. He's already in the lead, but this is the one.
Okay, the speed is looking great along the ground there. We want a good time in there. He's behind the mark. The angle.
Yeah, he did it.
That's going to be not bad, actually. That's looking great. He's soaring out there. 70.32 meters for his first throw.
It's not unbeatable, though. 90 is not unrealistic here.
Okay, that's Rik illustrating a fine double negative there. Tony Jarrett, first throw, 70.32. The pressure is really on him here, Rik.
I can't quite tell which one is the javelin, it's so scary. But he's got to keep going, he's got to get the speed up, and he's got to get as close to the line without fouling as he can.
Okay, the speed is looking great. You can see the bat at the bottom there. He's quite close to the line. Let's see that angle, 66. Probably going to be too high, Rik.
Yeah, I think he's come just about as far as a small child might.
30.94 meters, roughly half the distance of John's there, okay? But he's got two more throws left. We only count the furthest throw. Here comes John's second.
Yep, the angle actually goes down in this game, so they've got to actually figure out which way it's going to go first.
Okay, then, again, John's speed is fantastic as he approaches the line. He might have a foul. That's a foul there. But he can afford to do that. Yes. He's been saving himself now.
He's teasing. He's throwing those sweets in Tony's direction, isn't he?
He's angry, though. Look at the screen. He's bending down there, doing something. Okay, it's Tony Jarrett's second throw.
Come and see my puppies, Tony. That's what you're saying.
Okay, here goes Tony. We want speed, we want him to let go the javelin as close to the line as possible, and we want about 40 degrees angle here.
The speed's not quite as good, it's not quite outstretched.
38 degrees, so that's a good angle. It's sorting it, that's going to be close, 67.27, closer, but still is John in the lead with 70.32. He can really go for it now in his final one, John, Rik.
Well, this is what the Germans actually do. The Germans always throw very short distances at the beginning and go for the long distance at the end.
Okay, here comes John. The speed again is very good. He wants as close to the line as... Oh, the speed is magnificent if he can keep this up. 30 degrees, a bit too low, but his speed might carry it out there still, Rik.
Yeah, I think Tony's going to have a lot to do now, a lot to do.
He really does. His best so far is 67.27. We're looking for another 4 metres plus from Tony Jarrett here. Here he comes.
He's got to go basically over 85 to really put it all square.
To bring the points level, yes, overall in the whole competition. Here he comes.
Go on the speed,
Get
we
those
need that
fingers
speed.
going, Tony. Okay, the speed is... it's not terribly fast. Maybe get the
No,
angle.
this is definitely not it.
The angle's not good either. I'm trying to think of something complimentary about this throw. I can't. 41.93, which means that Tony Jarrett's best throw, 67.27, but winning another event is 71.96, John Regis. We don't need the final points. John Regis is the winner. Congratulations, John.
Well, thank you kindly.
Slightly less congratulations there to you, Tony. How should we put this? Silver again. You've probably got more silver than the Bank of England now. And ironically, it was the hurdles. That was the kind of one that separated the men from the boys today. What happened with that? Did you clear any?
Well, no, I don't think I did. I think I performed as good as I did in the Olympic Games itself.
I wasn't going to mention that. So, I mean, was it pressure getting to you?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of pressure because I know it was my home event. But what I had to do is, because I was a German, I had to make the Englishman win because the men I'm sorry you're going to do that, innit? You're going to do that.
Lame excuse, lame excuse.
John, were you, I mean, this may sound like a silly question, were you ever worried at all?
I probably wasn't. The only thing I was worried about was balancing on the barrel. Other than that, other than that,
that's probably because of Tony's comfortable shorts. Needs a bit of room. That's what it is at the end.
Absolutely.
We're basically talking, Tony needs a full barrel, if you know what I mean. Well, thanks so much for coming on. It's been absolutely fantastic, guys. It's been a great laugh.
Pleasure.
Silver goes to Tony Jarrett, but a whopping great gold in the form of the GamesMaster Joystick goes to Mr. John Regis.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's the end of the show. Thanks very much to John and Tony. Next week, Paul Lation from the Hollyoaks is here. And I leave you with a final question. If sprinters are so fast, do they get the runs twice as quick as normal people? Good night.